faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever.
Most of the people that I've talked to have either some sort of a drug addiction or a mental illness, unless they're out on the streets by their own choice. You know, but also sometimes besides that, there's also, I have talked to people that have they're just messed up in ways because of different factors that have contributed to why they ended up crazy, or they ended up on drugs or whatever. Sometimes there's like abuse or whatever that's led to that. Some people actually run away from abusive homes and stuff like that, so they end up street kids. But I mean, I didn't start living on the streets till I was in my mid to late 20s.
The most common misconception is that the leading cause of homelessness is drug and substance abuse. In fact, the leading causes are poverty and mental illness.
No one knew me.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes
an emotional goodbye. Still, the homeless artist left an indelible influence on his friend, the architect.
And it was on the way home from SeaTac, actually crying in the car, that I decided that I would start another Facebook site called Homeless in Seattle. And I would do that because I realized in that moment what Chiaka had done for me. He had completely exploded, torn apart the negative stereotype against homelessness.
Holbein set out to challenge what we think, know, feel, and fear about the homeless.
There is no sense of, one category that fits homelessness, but also that each person that I've met that is actually living on the street and struggling with homelessness is there for a reason. This kind of mythical thought that they chose or somehow are living this life by their own decision, is completely false.
I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all away.
This is my friend Darwin. He was homeless for years. He's in housing now, but a while back he came to my office wet and he spent the day drying off and warming up. And at the end of the day, he stood up and he said, "I want to thank you for letting me be inside today." And then, as if he read my mind, he said, "And it's not because it's been raining all day long. It's because today I got to be a part of something normal." He told me that he listened to me have these normal phone conversations all day long, that when my architecture client came in, that he listened to this normal back and forth architectural discussion. He even noticed how he felt the UPS man had genuinely said to me, "Have a nice day." And then Darwin went on to explain to me that when you live outside, it may appear that you are mingling with everyone else, but in fact, you are not. You are separated out behind a giant plexiglass divider, and that the only people that you get to talk with are those who are also living non-normal lives behind the plexiglass. And what occurred to me in that moment was that when we walk past someone who is suffering on the street without acknowledging them, we unknowingly create our own plexiglass.
Till I find that old love, or that old love comes to find me. Well, I walked into the morning and felt the warm sunlight forming on my shoulders. 'Cause it hit me with no warning, like a summer sky storming in my lungs. Ain't it funny how the kids walk by and do anything to make themselves look older, while the women spend their money on anything that makes them look young. Like a storm,
helplessly hoping her harlequin, others nearby, awaiting a word, gasping at glimpses of gin.